Okay.
I felt offended because I was putting so much effort into learning our traditional knowledge, and I said, hey, I'm learning from professors from the land, like elders that have these other professors will never have. They're about medicine, about the land navigation, about all the sacred sites, about everything. And but then I also know that when we're in this fight in this realm out here in this earth, that when you do have a white man's education, you're automatically respected.
Yes.
You know, like my brother, he has his master's in engineering. You know,
Yes.
like people really respect that. And my dad was able to brag to his colleagues about his sons in school and winning awards for being top science and math and prominence and everything. Was really way in this realm
That's
to
a
talk about how like a prestige
Yes.
when your children are
Yes.
educated. But how could you say, hey, my kids are on this other type of education? You know,
that's
people like how to organize, how to build movement and revolution, which is hard. Not anyone could just do that. You know, and then encourage my sister to stay in school, knowledge that's gonna make her a doctor and a healer.
yeah. With
Heal
the
people.
and Minister Doc Satchel's funeral service again in California. The Doc Satchel was dead himself in no chapter of the Black Panther Party. They talk about him in Vietnam to this day. He was responsible for implementing what they call the People's Advocate. He ran a medical center with a flawless. I mean, he was on it. But even at the funeral service, there was family members that still couldn't grasp he was a doctor. You know, he wanted to become a doctor. He said he was a doctor. You know what I'm saying? And that's the pain that comes with going against the grain. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. I wouldn't wish it on nobody. And Assata Shakur said the most adamant revolutionary still has something in them to say, we wish we could make it without this fight. Most people want to be, I want to say, I forget to say this yesterday, they want to be comfortable being colonized. And more the technique, I see some other day on some of the quote, I like it, he says that most people don't want to know, they don't want to change. It's like getting in cold water. And once you broke that barrier, it's hard for you to go back. And sometimes, like I say, I came up, I need to recharge also. I got some footage. It was so fucked up. I was like, man, I'm sick, I'm fed the fuck up. And the reality is, Field Marshal George Jackson said capitalism affects the economy, but it affects the psyche. It's certain shit that motherfuckers would do. I hope you hear me. On a construction job or white man's job, they would not do with our people. That's the reality. You know what I'm saying? You can't even give up to do some basic construction work at our house. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sick of that shit. I'm like, well, you know, you need the money. No, it's motherfuckers you can pay and still won't do that shit. Believe me, I know this for a fact. The psychic of what we see is the titles, it's not. I know I'm going to put a quote up on Facebook right now. Do not let your expectations supersede other people's limitations. Do not let your expectations supersede the limitations. People who I be getting disappointed about, I go back in my whole life and look at like they incapable. So they had that structure. When Chairman Fred went to organize different organizations, he knew which people to take with him and who not to take with him. He wasn't just shooting the fucking dice. And a lot of people blame leadership. They say, oh man, why did this guy do blah blah? Man, we are not limited with the resources or the time or the luxury. We gotta grab work with what the fuck we gotta work with. Like the perfect example of this trip, we're talking this contradiction. You know what I'm saying? You can look back at it and say, well, Chan, why did he come with you? Man, you know, a real organizer, shit, you gotta work with the fuck you gotta work with, man. You gotta work with the fuck you gotta work with. The ruling class, they had the resources, the luxury, you know, pick certain individuals, grab them, man, it's certain times you gotta grab people when they pissed off, you know, the system. The reporter asked me, how many members do you have? I said, it depends on how many people the police have murdered. Sad reality, but a reality. I told the Black Panther Party,